Hello everyone and welcome to the Clinical Cousins YouTube channel. Today we're going to go over the basics of the action potential. Now an action potential is how an electrical message is passed from one cell to another. To understand the action potential, we must know the vocabulary. First, think about what polarization means. It means two opposite ends or poles. We could say that the Republicans and the Democrats are polar opposites of each other. Depolarization is when a cell becomes less negative or more positive. The cell does this by opening ion channels to allow inward current. An inward current is any current that makes the cell less negative. An example of an inward current that causes a depolarization would be the opening of sodium channels. This would allow positive sodium ions to come into the cell, thus making it more positive. Hyperpolarization is when the cell becomes more negative or less positive. Our cell could do this by increasing the conductance or opening of our potassium channels. This would let potassium out of the cell, making the cell more negative. Also, we could increase the conductance of chloride channels, which would let negative chloride into our cell, which would make it more negative. Threshold potential is the potential or millivoltage at which voltage-gated sodium channels open. This is our fast activation gate. An action potential becomes inevitable when our cell reaches threshold potential. If our cell is resting at about negative 70 millivolts, we will say that the threshold potential is around negative 50 millivolts, meaning that if enough positive current came into our cell to raise it to negative 50 millivolts, our cells would fire an action potential message. Overshoot is the part of an action potential in which our cell millivoltage actually becomes positive. And undershoot is that part of an action potential where our cell millivoltage becomes less than it does at rest. Or in our case, this is below about negative 70 millivolts. Be sure to tune in to our next video where we will learn together how cells communicate with one another using action potential messages. As always, thank you for taking the time to learn with us today, and please like and subscribe for more content.